What's happened to the man that you say raped you on Minister Reynolds' couch?
He's fine. I don't think he suffered any consequences for it at all.
The dark underbelly of Australia's democracy exposed yet again.
This is an issue that I think goes right across the span of all political parties, all offices. Let's not kid ourselves here. This is a problem we all have and we all must address together.
The PM today ordering a review into the complaints process and workplace culture at Parliament House after ex-Liberal Party staffer Brittany Higgins bravely spoke out.
What did you say to him?
I told him to stop.
Did he?
No.
Morrison apologising for Brittany's treatment in the wake of her alleged rape at the hands of a senior staffer in 2019.
Jenny and I spoke last night. She said to me, you have to think about this as a father first. What would you want to happen if it were our girls? Jenny has a way of clarifying things, always has.
That response triggered a backlash. For F's sake, trending on Twitter.
Why do men in power have to have daughters to recognise that sexual assault is a crime?
The culture is rank, and we all know that. You don't have to have it pointed out by your wife to know that there are things that go on in this building that are not okay.
And they haven't been okay for a long time.
They're doing long hours, there's stress, and often in combination with alcohol, there's a big power imbalance between them and their MP or senator or minister. That can create quite a risky environment in terms of sexual harassment.
Time and time again, women, just like Brittany, have spoken out.
I said, stop 3 times. I said that I was uncomfortable, but he said no.
What I'm trying to do by speaking to you is stand up for myself and say, this isn't okay.
Time and time again, they've paid the price.
For a lot of women, this is the dream job. So if it's the dream job and they've got a problem, what's going to happen to them? It's not going to be them that gets to survive, it's going to be the men that get to survive.
Today, Brittany welcomed the long overdue cultural review, saying it should not have taken my story or the story of other victim survivors to air on national television for the Prime Minister to take action on workplace sexual harassment, assault or bullying.
Her bravery is not in vain. Her bravery will encourage other people to come forward, and it will encourage change.
We did invite the Prime Minister, Linda Reynolds, Michaelia Cash and Marise Payne to join us. None of them was available. The Greens Senator Sarah Hanson-Young, who we just heard there at the end of that story, is very familiar with the Canberra culture and she joins us now. Sarah, let's start with that description we heard in that package about the problem here. So long hours, stress, too much alcohol, power imbalances, all of that contributing to what we see now. Does that describe the Canberra that you know?
Look, it definitely describes a part of the culture in this building, and I think in particular, really the impact that that has on young women in this building. There is inherent power balances, of course. This is politics. This is the most powerful building in the country. But when you mix that with the political overtunes, the necessity to kind of keep information tight, to the fact that information itself is power, that scandal can be weaponised, all of these issues really play into a culture that is diabolical. You know, it really does make it very difficult for anyone to speak up and call out bad behaviour.
So, Senator, a lot's riding on a review announced by the Prime Minister today. In your view, what do you think that'll achieve?
Well, look, I'm a bit disappointed that the Prime Minister didn't announce a proper independent investigation. I think he should have. I'm not convinced that doing something in-house is the solution. I think keeping things in-house is what has led to this problem in the first place. So we need something else than the processes that are currently there.
Senator, one of the many criticisms of Canberra is that the reputation of your party is far more important than the welfare of your staff. Would you say that is true?
Look, I think that is an overriding element to this, and absolutely. And Brittany described that very clearly in her interview last night in her statement, but it is something that I've heard over and over again, particularly from young women in this building. And I've had many conversations with individuals about sexism, of mistreatment, of inappropriate behaviour and not knowing where to go and not wanting to talk about it by fear that it would bring down their party or their boss or implicate other people in, what is this really political high wire that we all work in.
Sarah, is it possible to change the culture if we keep things the same? Do we need to just blow the whole thing up and start again? Like, how do you make it more family friendly? How do you increase women's participation? What are some of the practical things that could be done?
Look, I think one of the things is the hours and the fact that, we often work late at night, and then people have travelled here. So rather than going home to the hotel room, you go out for dinner, you go to the pub, you have drinks. That kind of builds a culture. There is the trade of information in politics. I mean, that has been here for forever and a day. But how that happens, making sure that there is safe places. And if something goes wrong, if somebody is, is in a situation where they have been inappropriately treated, that they do feel unsafe, there needs to be a transparent and independent place for them to go. At the moment, there isn't. And at the very least, that's what we should be putting in place. And above all else, we've got no, even at the MP level, there is no code of conduct for members of parliament. I think that is a no-brainer. And after everything that we've seen over the last few years, if we want to encourage more women into politics, we want better behaviour from all of our members of parliament, I think we should all sign up to a code of behaviour and ensure that we reflect that back to our staff. One of the things that we need to do, and I called for this some time ago after I won the case against David Leyonhjelm, was that we need to, at least as women in this parliament, come together and support each other across party lines. I'm sick and tired of the weaponising. I'm sick and tired of the, this party's better than this party is better than that party. At the end of the day, I want this place to be a safe place for everyone to work in, and particularly for the young women who have always copped the brunt of the bad behaviour right here in Canberra, and it's got to stop.
Sarah, by whatever mechanism, let's hope this is a turning point. We appreciate you speaking to us tonight so candidly.
Thank you.
With so much content online, it's sometimes hard to keep up with it all. And let's face it, who has the time? The Project YouTube has you covered with the stories that matter. Hit subscribe for a daily list of the news that you need to know.